The pictures you got, I enjoy
There's
it.
a lot of people that want to speak tonight. Let's start with Robin Reed, who's going to give us a quick parks update.
Very quick.
And then,
All right, I'll give a very quick parks report. The gardening volunteers have started working in Christopher Columbus Park. If you're interested in working in the Rose Garden or the Crescent Garden, for friends of Christopher Columbus Park, please let me know. It's a wonderful way to help keep the park clean and keep your hands dirty. It's a wonderful group of people. The times that they garden is Sundays from 9:30 in the morning to 11 in the morning, and Wednesday mornings from 8:30 to 10 a.m. And everyone's welcome. It's very casual. You can come as often or as few times as you need to, and we supply all the training and the tools. For the past few years, the park, Christopher Columbus Park, has also supplied daffodils along the trellis for the marathon. It's a beautiful display of support for Boston Strong and for the marathon runners. And we will be doing that again this year. So tomorrow, all the daffodils will be delivered and they will line the trellis. They will be there until Monday. And then at which point you can go and pick up a bucket of daffodils if you like. We ask that people leave them there until after the marathon is over, but after that you're welcome to go and pick up your own tin of daffodils. And the Friends of Cotillo Park are having a photography exhibition about the history of the park with some stories and some historical information. That's going to be at the Boston Harbor Pop-Up Gallery, which is at 226 Causeway Street, right at the corner of North Washington and Causeway. The opening event for that, unfortunately, is the same night as the Nazaro Center meeting that's coming up. It's Thursday, April 25th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. So maybe you can come to that opening before the Nazaro Center meeting or afterwards. It will be up until the end of June, and we invite you to come and see those beautiful photographs of the park and read a little bit more about the history.
Robin, where is Cotillo Park?
Cotillo Park is,
For those who don't know.
for those that don't know. Kristen's here, she can give the exact address, but it's behind Salem Street, right off of, what is it, Stillman?
There's Stillman and Morton.
Stillman and Morton.
It's officially at 9 Stillman Street. So you've got Salem Street and Endicott Street and Morton Street, which dates back to 1838, and Stillman Street is right in the middle of that.
And we invite you to come visit the park. It has a beautiful new mural on it. It has a new recycling bin that's been placed there. And the Friends of Cotillo Park is really working hard to make it a really wonderful place to show up. So please, thank you, Dave, for pinpointing the location of it, and please come visit the park.
thank you, Robin. Michael Aquilino would like to talk to us. He was here last month about Stone Place.
I want to thank everyone for supporting me against 2 Stelling Place. Unfortunately, the mayor's office did not agree, and the 2 Stelling Place variance was granted by the zoning board. We were very fortunate to have Lydia Edwards support us. So we weren't too happy about the neighborhood supporting us and the mayor's office not supporting us. I just want to quickly say, many of the people here built the North End into what it is today. My wife included. We rehabbed buildings and everything else, and we supported all the culture of the North End, from the Taste of the North End to the churches, to Columbus Park, to all the Italian cultural situations. 585 Commercial Street, that is what a school today, would have been 86 condominiums without the people in the North End who were against it. So I want to just say this, and that is, the beginning with Mayor Flynn in 1984, we had mayors that straightened, cleaned the North End out, stopped a lot of double parking and dangerous situations for all parking from the Boston Garden on. And now it seems that the mayor's office seems to support people who are foreign investors into the North End and are abandoning us who want to keep the North End a certain very nice neighborhood manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that introduction, Michael. Maria Lanza, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Just a couple of updates from Mayor Walsh's office. This Wednesday, the Mayor Walsh presented his fiscal year 2020 budget. I don't want to go into all the details, I know we have limited time, but it is all available online. So if you visit our revamped website, it's budget.boston.gov. And this was the entire fiscal year budget, but be on the lookout for capital budget improvements. That'll be later this month. In addition to that, just a few plugs for events. So we do have Love Your Block coming up on Saturday, May 4th, which is the annual spring cleanup, formerly known as Boston Shines. We'd love to see NEWRA participate and any other members or friends that you guys have. So please register online, boston.gov/loveyourblock, and that's Saturday, May 4th. We haven't picked a kickoff location yet, but if you sign up on the form, we'll be in touch. Also, just a reminder, the Patriots Day Parade is Monday, so they will be leaving City Hall Plaza, down Tremont Street, Bromfield Street, Washington Court, onto Congress, and then ending at Hanover Street with Paul Revere and the passing off of the scrolls. So be on the lookout for that. That starts at 9 a.m. this Monday. And then there is going to be a North End Community Center study public meeting. So this will be the final presentation of the North End Community Center study, discussing the study as a whole and next steps moving forward. That's going to be Thursday, April 25th here at the Nazara Center at 6:30 p.m. Just a spring cleaning update from Public Works. In addition to the 2 full-time Hokies that we have currently, we are adding 4 seasonal Hokies, so that'll bring a total of 6 Hokies that'll be in this neighborhood starting May 4th, and that'll go throughout the season from spring to fall. So make sure if you see the Hokies in the neighborhood, be sure to say hello. They're very friendly and they're eager to help keep our neighborhood clean. And lastly, the Mayor's Coffee Hour will be June 4th at 9:30 a.m. and this will be the opening kickoff celebration of the Prado and the brand new Prado reconstructed project through the Park Department. So that's June 4th at 9:30 in the morning. Thank you. Thank you.
I just, in addition, I would also like to say a special thank you to our city councilor, Lydia Edwards, because she has been advocating for a very long time for more Hokies in this neighborhood. I guess City Hall finally heard us. Thank you. Very, very good news.
No, so we're going to use just the kickoff the Prado as a cost, just so everybody knows what's in there. Senator Von Cook? Oh, I'm sorry, Victor.
As far as next ZLC meeting is the 23rd of April. The only thing on the agenda so far is the Chase Bank use of what was most recently Pete's Coffee as a bank. And if you remember, Attorney Peter Lyons and the Chase Bank came to our last meeting and talked about the possibility of utilizing the permit they have for outside seating, which would be available for people to eat their sandwiches, purchase somewhere else, or have coffee to it. Attorney Lyons says that's now off the table. It's just going to be a bank. So that will be on the ZLC agenda. Please come if you have any concerns. Please come if you don't have any concerns. And perhaps will be on the next NEWRA agenda for a vote. Now, the interesting things that I have, well, that's interesting, of course. So let's talk about our 3. 1 good news, 1 bad news, first, depending upon your position. On 2 development projects. The Dock Square Garage development, which NEWRA opposed, and the Boston Preservation Alliance tells me that they received copies of over 30 letters in opposition, was to be voted on again, a revision by the Boston Civic Design Commission. That was pulled off that agenda. It was also supposed to be on a BRA agenda today and was pulled off the agenda. So it looks as though that project is being looked at again, reanalyzed, and one hopes that a better project comes out, or no project. I did suggest at one of the meetings, the quote-unquote no-build alternative is something that should be considered, and perhaps that will be considered. Okay, that's the good news if you oppose the Dog Square Garage project. The bad news is the other project we have nearby, which is Haymarket Hotel. I've been associated with it for 10 years or so, first on the Mass DOT Advisory Committee, now on the Impact Advisory Group of the BRA, fighting for public benefits. I thought we had at least two. One is a public meeting room, or meeting room available for public use in the Haymarket Hotel, and the other was public restrooms. Until I saw a cooperation agreement that came out of the BRA, an agreement between the BRA and the developer, it looks as though the BRA is cooperating with the developer, not vice versa, because every commitment in that cooperation agreement expires in 10 years from the issuance of a certificate of occupancy. Now, why that should happen, I have no idea. How that benefits the public, I have no idea. What happens to our restrooms and what happens to the community room in 10 years? It seems to me to be outrageous. But whatever the developer wants, the developer gets. Okay, number 3 is you will be one of these days, I hope, coming to a meeting on a program coming out of the City Hall called Additional Dwelling Units. Senator Boncore said that he was supporting accessory dwelling units, but I was pleased to hear him say that it really doesn't apply to Boston. The problem really resides in the small towns. This additional dwelling unit program called ADU, I guess if you give it an acronym to legitimize it, would permit people to make additional units within the
Envelope.
building, the envelope of the building, thank you, Ben, without extending over the sidewalk or without going up. But of course, in order to do that, you would have to make existing units smaller. The objective, I suppose, is density, which is the mantra of urban planning now, density, density, density. So that's going to come to you, the department head, who will, Deputy Director for Regulatory Planning and Zoning, Brian Glasscock, whom I admire very much. I think he's a dedicated public servant, but this is the program that he will be explaining and looking for support. It's already been supported by other neighborhoods. I won't take the time to go into that. My concerns are, preliminary concerns, of course, smaller units. To whom will they be addressed? Long-term residents, whom we welcome, participants in NEWRA, or students. Who wants to live in those small things? So that's something that came to my mind. I haven't thought about it too much, but we can consider it when Mr. Glasscock comes with his proposal. And that concludes the ZLC report.